What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Be Original Show, exclusively on WBDY. I'm your host, Kevin Oriole, aka DJ KO Yo, and today we have an indie rock band whose music makes you want to kick back and chill. Good vibes, great guitar riffs, and melodic vocals make this band one to catch at a live show here in the Binghamton area. Today, in the studio, we have the band From the Bronx, and we'll be meeting the guys, getting into their story and their music, but first, let's listen to Lover's Requiem right here on the Bundy Museum community radio station, WBDY.
You wake up, you lie down, you think of him, but he's not around.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
Why don't you go around, introduce yourselves, and let the folks know what instruments you play, what you do in the band.
Hey everyone, my name is Omar Acosta, and I am the lead singer and rhythm guitarist for From the Bronx.
My name's Christopher Dennison, aka Chris. I'm the drummer and coordinator for From the Bronx.
My name is Ben Hayduk, and I'm the bass player for From the Bronx.
My name is Emmanuel Fuentes, and I'm the lead guitarist for From the Bronx.
So first of all, where did the name come from?
You want to take that, Omar?
I'll take that one.
I mean, obviously from the Bronx, but what was the idea behind it?
So initially, when we first started, we started with our bass player. Her name was Dahlia, and she was literally from the Bronx. So it kind of started as like an interplay, a little joke, and then from there, the name kind of stuck. There were a few times where we thought about changing it, but because it was, people would come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, you're from the Bronx." You'd have to tell them like, I was born in the Bronx, but I'm not really from the Bronx. But yeah, for the most part, it really comes from that.
Yeah, she's not with us anymore. That's why we.
Whoa, you made it sound like she's dead.
No.
she's not in the band. She's in this realm, but she's not in the band anymore. So how did the band come together?
I'll take this one. So I actually remember this. This was like within the first week of school. They were having events at the Mountain View Dining Hall at campus at Binghamton University. And they had these events called Mountain View Jams that we played a couple times. But the first Mountain View Jam, I was in my dorm, and it was Omar and Dahlia playing. They were actually in need of a drummer. So my friend Jager, he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, Chris, you got to get over here. There's opportunity for you." Because I hadn't drummed since high school, and it was like my freshman year. So I ran over with my drumsticks, and we just clicked, man. Like, as soon as I hopped on the kit, like, everything we were playing just, like, went well together. We were just vibing.
Yeah, it just kind of made sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, Omar and I were, like, the OG members. And then later down the road, we, how did we get Ben? I think we met through Jazz Ben.
That was Jazz Band. It was fall semester.
Sophomore
Yeah.
year.
Because we all play for the Jazz Band at Binghamton as well. So some of us met through there. And Manny, I forgot how we got Manny.
Well, I knew Manny. Fun fact, Manny was supposed to be my roommate at one. Yes, because I remember I reached out to you on Instagram.
Yeah, I remember
to be my roommate. And little memory unlocked there. And so I knew Manny could play guitar, and at one point we were gonna play for Earth Fest, and we were like, "Yo, Manny, do you want to hop on with us?" And luckily enough, Manny was like, "Yeah, you know." I mean, if you want to talk on
you
that.
remember I think the first time we played together was at the Mountain View Jam, but it was like in the spring semester. So like it was like a semester after.
Yeah, I remember that because it was like the first one
I was
too.
just getting food, and you were like, "Dude, just play a song with us." I was like, "All right, I got nothing else to do." So we played "Knocking on Heaven's Door."
Yes.
And then after that point, it was kind of just like, "All right, Manny, you're in the group." I was like, "All right."
I'm pretty sure you were in a band at the time too.
I was
right?
never. No, this is my only band that I've been in
okay.
college.
Oh.
But
What was the venue that you played at?
that
You
was
mentioned Mountain View.
So Mountain View is one of the dining halls in Binghamton, and there is a band that kind of hosts these events called Mountain View Jams. Her name is Dana and her husband Bob. So they basically just host Mountain View Jams for students to just do any like jam sessions they want. They have a band there and stuff. So I just pulled up and we just played that. It was really fun.
Yeah.
So was there a lot of people in the audience, or?
I'd say so, because it's usually during the dining hall hours. So like some people are kind of there to support their friends. Some people are just there to like get dinner or lunch or whatever. So whoever just happens to be there is usually who we'll get.
Very cool. Are you all music students?
No, not at all.
No.
I was considering being a music minor at one point, but there was just way too many classes. So I'm just sticking with business admin.
Yeah, we're just good.
What are you guys studying?
I'm business admin. Yeah.
I'm in nursing school right now.
I'm also business admin. I concentrate in management information systems. So it's kind of like a blend of engineering and business.
Twins.
Nice.
Ooh, wow. I'm doing philosophy, politics, and law.
Sweet. So when you came together, were you just doing covers or you went right to originals?
No, we were doing. I remember our first show when it was me, Chris, and Dahlia. We were doing originals at that point because we did Lovers for the first time. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
On our first house show. By the way, I want to shout out Dempa Dollhouse. That's Dahlia's new band. Check them out.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
good.
Yeah.
They played in the attic, right?
Yes, they played with us at the
yeah,
attic.
yeah.
What is the band name again? Say it again.
Denpa Dollhouse. Denpa DENPA and then Dollhouse.
Cool.
Yeah. I gotta help my homegirl Dahlia out here.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the first song that we ever played I think was All Along the Watchtower, which is a cover. So we've done a mix of covers and originals from the onset.
We try to keep like a 50-50 balance.
Yeah.
What are some of the covers that you guys play?
We've done like Redbone, All Along the Watchtower, some Jimi Hendrix, right?
A lot of Jimi.
Some Jimi Hendrix.
So it's more of a classic rock vibe.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. I started mixing it. We started mixing in some dead and blues and stuff.
Yeah, we experiment. Like we add reggae into
Yeah,
our
we're trying to add
song.
reggae and
Like,
stuff.
yeah.
That's really cool. It's no wonder why a couple of the punk bands that we've interviewed here have mentioned you guys as one of the favorite bands. I'll actually ask you guys. Actually, why not ask you right now? What are some of the favorite bands that you've played with locally here in the Binghamton area?
Well, I already shouted out Denpa Dollhouse, so Denpa Dollhouse is definitely they're definitely one of my favorite ones. Especially considering that Dahlia's my housemate, so I get to see them practice live. I get the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They've got a really really chill, jammy vibe.
Yeah. And Dolly's a great producer and beat maker.
Oh my god, yeah, she's amazing. She's phenomenal.
Awesome.
For me, I would say the Plasters. Their drummer, Lucy Goodman. She's sick. She goes to Binghamton as well, and they performed Spring Fling the year before we did.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're very talented. Yeah.
What about you, Ben?
I haven't really played with any other bands around here. I mean, besides like jazz band, but that's for just the university, but no other like local bands for me.
You haven't gone out to any of the clubs to see bands and check them out?
Oh, we gotta take you here.
Not
man.
really, no.
We should do Lost Dog one day.
Yeah.
How about you, Manny?
I'd say I'm probably giving a shout out to my friend's Husband Material. They're actually
Husband
they're
Material.
actually
That's right,
gonna
yeah.
open this coming spring fling this semester for Neon Trees, which is in Laundry Day, which is gonna be really cool. Yeah, they're also studio jazz. We were in studio jazz with them, so shout out to them.
So were you guys first interested in the rock thing or the jazz thing? Like, how does that play into what you guys do?
I mean, for me, I started out with rock for sure. Like one of my early bands that I loved was System of a Down. Like their stuff is awesome, and I would say also like Mastodon and Animals as Leaders. Those are like my two favorite bands right now.
Awesome.
But yeah, I definitely started out with rock, and then it branched out into like every other genre.
That's awesome. What brought you to drums?
Oh, what brought me to drums? Honestly, it was like the easiest instrument that I could pick up because I was in 6th grade going into high school, and it was either I played an instrument or sang in chorus, and I cannot sing.
That's not true. I've heard you sing before.
Yeah, I've heard you sing.
Well, drumming, man, you have to have dexterity. Like it's
Dexterity, endurance, and strength.
Yeah. So to say that that's the easiest, I would disagree, man.
Yeah, well, you definitely need some like natural like talent to.
Syncopation.
Yeah, there's a book called Syncopation that's really good if you want to get into drumming.
What about you, Ben? What brought you to bass?
when I was younger, I always liked the guitar. But one of my brother's friend, he was having a garage sale, and there was a bass there for like $20, and so I bought it, and that was like I was in like 4th grade, and I started fiddling around with it, but I wasn't really interested in it. And then around 7th or 8th grade is when I started getting lessons, and then I really started to practice and love the instrument. And then it just went from there. And I grew up just listening to classic rock music, a lot of Rush, and stuff like that. And also my brother is a drummer. He's a phenomenal drummer. He started really, really young, so just having that too would facilitate me practicing more. It would encourage me to practice more, especially having someone in the family who's also a rhythm instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Sam.
Yeah. Amazing jazz drummer.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What about you, Manny?
So I started playing guitar, I think, when I was like 12 years old. I had a friend who liked rock music a lot, and I would just always go to his house, and he had like this cherry red wine Fender Strat. It was like 04, 05 or something like that. And he put me onto a lot of music, and I would just always want to pick up his guitar and play it. So from there, I kind of just found my way through rock music. I started listening to a lot of rock, like classic rock and stuff. I got into Chili Peppers. I got into Kiss. I was really big into Kiss. And
Yeah.
then around the pandemic, I found the Grateful Dead, which I really love. And probably anyone that I talk to music about. Yeah, straight Deadhead. I got into the Grateful Dead. That really opened up music theory to me, and then I have a really big love for blues music. So people like Albert King, B.B. King, and slide players like Derek Trucks, Dwayne Allman, Robert Johnson, Elmore James, and then I've gotten into more jazz lately. So people like Wes Montgomery, Jim Hall, Joe Pass. So it's kind of just a little bit about me for music.
Yeah, man, your solos are sick, man.
Thank you.
For
Appreciate
sure.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Omar? You're the man with the lyrics and holding it down on the rhythm.
So I didn't start on guitar first. I started on piano, and that's because my church needed a pianist because our pianist unexpectedly quit, and they were like, "Uh-oh, what are we gonna do now?" So I kind of took up that mantle, and there's a Ringo Starr quote that comes up where he says that he wasn't a good drummer, he just made the mistakes on stage. That's kind of been my ethos for the most part. I've made a lot of mistakes on stage, especially with the piano, and from there I've worked progressively. But what got me into writing was my discovery of Bob Dylan in the pandemic too. I just started to I was like, wow, this guy's a genius. This guy's got some great lyrics, and I want to do that too. So he definitely opened up a catalyst. Him, and as cliche as it sounds, also the Beatles were they were very big in opening a lot of music theory things and songwriting as well. So
Probably one of the greatest pop bands ever.
most definitely.
They're not worldwide known because of nothing.
Almost definitely.
Great songwriting. Speaking about great songs, let's talk about Lucidity. What's that song about?
That's a very, very, very good question. I do remember when I wrote it, I was in a very meditative state at that point, and I think I was in my dad's house, and I was just in my bed, and I was just riffing around at one point, and I heard one thing that sounds very funny enough because it's probably a bit of a Beatles influence. It sounds very similar to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, that intro.
It does have that kind of flavor to it.
So there's definitely that in, and I guess it was a very. It was a very, I don't want to say momentous, but there was definitely a plateau in my life at that moment. This was during the summer of sophomore year, I think. Yeah, this was during the summer of sophomore year. And I kind of plateaued, and I was just thinking we look at all these things, and how do we know that what we're looking at is actually real? What indication is there that all of this is lucid? And even on that point, what even is the perception of lucidity? What does it mean? What does it mean to see these things, So that's definitely where that song comes from.
Very, very cool. So let's check this out. This is Lucidity right here on the Be Original Show on WBDY 99.5 FM.
People mourn today.
Hey, if you're just joining us, we are in the studio with From the Bronx. So, guys, other bands talk about playing with you guys and really enjoying it. Talk about your live shows and, you know, how that goes and what you want to get across. And
our live shows, I feel like, are just full of like energy and just like us being us. You know, like we like to mess around a lot, but we like when it comes down to it, like we really just love to find like a specific zone when we're playing. Like when there's times when we lock in where things just feel right. It's kind of like the Dead in some sense. Like some bands kind of just like try to move around and maybe like find something, and sometimes you don't find it, sometimes you do. And I feel like sometimes we have that same feeling where we're finding our way through the music, and then other times we're kind of just like meandering around it. Hopefully we'll find it. But overall, I think like our live shows just have that like energy to it, and that's like definitely the way to see us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
do you improvise?
Oh, that's like majority of what we do. Yeah. Like we kind of like one of the songs that we have on our EP is called Prelude, and the way I came up with that was last year when we were doing this competition called Battle of the Bands to open our Spring Fling. We were doing all along the Watchtower into our original Lover's Requiem, and I was taking this music theory class at the time, and one of the concepts we were talking about was like modulation into one key to another, and I had this idea in my head of just like putting All Along the Watchtower into Lover's Requiem, and I kind of just started thinking about that like really theoretically, and then I made a Prelude, which is what we call it, and we kind of just turned it into a jam lately. Like we did a show last week where we had a friend from Dempa Dollhouse, his name's Rocco, basically kind of just like lead us through it like a jam, like an improvisation jam, and we all kind of just hold it down for him, and it felt really cool because it was like the first time we've like jammed on that. We kind of just do like a quick like 2-bar of it, but no, like this time we kind of explored it, and I thought it was really fun. So we're definitely big on improvisation, I'd say.
Yeah, and I would say like our main goal on stage, honestly, when we get up there is like to find the pocket. Because outside of playing, like we don't really practice. Like, we just work well together.
Yeah.
Very well.
That's great. Miles Davis said that he didn't practice either. He did everything on stage.
Yeah, we internalize pretty much all our songs, and like a good show has to have a good like intro. Like you got to get the crowd warmed up. As long as we got that, then we'll be good for the rest of the show.
And like being up there, you see, you know, when you're on stage, you know, like the adrenaline's running and stuff. But when you see these people, just they love what you're playing so much, and you could see like they light up and they just love what you're playing. So it makes us want to play better. So like the more and more people come, the more we get excited. Oh my gosh, like look at all these people, and they love what we're doing. So it just makes us want to play better, and that's a really special thing. That just live music really makes people happy.
Which, by the way, if you want to be one of those people that make us happy so we can make you happy, follow us on Instagram, From the Bronx Band on Instagram. And if you want to check out some of the songs I've been playing, definitely check us out on any streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you use, we're on it. And yeah, hopefully we get to see you on one of our next shows.
Yeah. Awesome. So when you're improvising, is there one person that leads it, or is it you look at each other? Like, what? How does that?
We do the looks.
How does that go?
The looks. Yeah.
The looks.
We look at each other. And like,
How would you guys describe
I know me and Ben, like sometimes we'll just trade forwards. Like he'll go at it 4 bars. I'll
Yeah,
go at
yeah.
it 4 bars.
I'll look at you and like you'll do a little something, and then I'm like, okay, it's my turn now. Like I'll do a little something.
But like I don't know, my role as the drummer, like it's not really like to take the front of the stage. So what I usually do in terms of improvisation, unless I'm like on a solo section or something, is I'll listen to what Manny or Ben or Omar is playing, and then I'll match the drums to that. Like we did that a couple of times at our last show.
You did it last week at Prelude, and I love listening
it
back
was
to
awesome.
it because I did like this little like delayed like rhythm, and then like you followed it really well, and we just kind of traded it, and that's what I was talking about by like
smooth
finding that like spot in it where we're kind of just like finding the music, and I think that was like one of those times where when like exploring a jam, it just really worked.
Yeah, man.
And was that the first time that you actually did that?
It was the first time we jammed Prelude. Normally we kind of just play it as you would hear it on the EP, but this was like the first time where it was kind of just like, let's explore it. Let's like find something within it and see where it takes us. And I think it went really well.
That's very, very cool. So, you know, we talked about Prelude so much. Why don't we play Prelude? All right, y'all. This is Prelude by the band From the Bronx right here on WBDY's Be Original. So, Manny, you were talking about this last show that you found that groove. It was really, really cool. What shows have you guys played that you are really memorable?
So we definitely have some of like our staple spots. Like for example, we're friends with these guys who host a venue called The Shed, and they usually really like to invite us just because we tend to bring a good amount of people there. We've done some other shows like we've done Earth Fest 2 years ago. We played our school's Spring Fling as a student opener for Surfaces and Imenbeck, and there's a lot of shows to choose from. I feel like that we've played, but I feel like one of the best we might have done was Battle of the Bands. Even though we only got like 3 minutes, I feel like it was definitely like a pinnacle for us, like where we kind of just made our presence like known on campus. Like we went into Battle of the Bands with a lot of momentum because sophomore year it was our goal to win Battle of the Bands so we could open our Spring Fling. So I feel like that show, personally for me, what we got out of it and the performance was probably our best.
I agree.
I really liked Battle of the Bands, but I'm gonna have to like be the contrarian here. The most memorable one, simply because of the venue, was probably the Staircase show, because
That's in Ithaca?
no, it's here in Binghamton.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on Chestnut Street. It's on Chestnut.
Yeah.
Huh.
They asked us to play on an actual staircase. So the stage was a staircase, and they fit all of the, I don't know how they did it, they fit all of the equipment on a staircase. The only problem that I had with the show, though,
Even
was
the drums?
Even the drums.
How do you fit drums on a staircase?
I could show you the video.
You gotta look at the video. It was very tight because me and Mandy were literally back to back because we're on the staircase, and like you can see, like I'm like this.
That's your favorite?
It's my favorite because it's not like every day you get to play on a staircase.
Yeah, but if you're sitting there, okay, never mind.
The only
it's
bad,
the experience, the
only bad
ambiance.
part about that show though was every time that people wanted to go to the bathroom was upstairs.
Oh my god!
So we would have to stop playing, wait for like a slew of people to go up, and then come back down.
It was like
You are a
5
warrior, dude. You like.
Yeah.
5 minutes worth in between songs.
Yeah.
So it was the only negative.
Honestly, the venue was like it's insane.
Can we even call it a venue?
Well, I mean, for lack of a better word, we'll call it a venue.
It was a house.
It was a house.
It was a house. Yeah.
What about you, Chris? What's your favorite show?
Favorite show, I'd say Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, just the climax of, like, everything we had been working on that year. And, like, I personally was not expecting to win because we were going up against Husband Material. Who was, like,
There was a lot
And
of
just other
competition
great
that year.
bands.
Yeah.
Really good
yeah.
bands.
And, like, when they said our band name, it was just one of those moments where it's like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Like they waited a year, Omar and Chris, because they were there for the first one when they were freshmen, and the second time around was now when we had me and Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that it was definitely like a rewarding feeling for those two because they wanted it for a year. You know, that was our goal. That was their goal, and then it became ours.
What song did you play?
We opened with Lucidity, went into All Along the Watchtower, then we did like a prelude thing, but we didn't really jam it. We kind of just did a quick transition from All Along the Watchtower into Lover's Requiem. And it was only supposed to be 3 songs, but people really, really liked us because we had a lot of support from our friends that year. Mm-hmm. So we actually got to finish with Hey Joe, which was really cool. I think that really like showed our energy for playing, and that's kind of just how it went.
Anecdote to that, I have a poster of Jimi Hendrix, and every time somebody comes up to the poster, I always point it to it. I'm like, that's the reason why we won Battle of the Bands.
We did 50% Hendrix at Battle of the
Oh my
Bands. Yeah,
gosh.
2 originals and then 2 Hendrix covers. That's how you win Battle of the Bands.
So why is Hendrix such a big influence?
Jimi Hendrix, you ask any guitar player, they're going to tell you Jimi Hendrix is the best guitar player ever. And there's just so many things that he did in his short musical career that, like, changes what you can do on guitar. Like, people now, even though that was, over, like, 60 years ago? Something like that? Yeah. Like, people nowadays are still going back to listen to him, and there's just so much to take away from. He was just so innovative for the short time he was around. And I'm still going back, taking away stuff from him, so that's just what makes Hendrix special.
And on top of that, I feel like Hendrix really embodies the vibe and the atmosphere that we're trying to get, which is this very energetic, very, very, well, I don't want to call it punchy, but definitely energetic and technical as well. It's this perfect melding between the two where you can let loose and be raw, but at the same time you can also show some type of prowess as well. And Hendrix like really encapsulates that so well.
Awesome. Are there, Chris and Ben, as far as rhythm section, who are your heroes?
Probably Geddy Lee for Brush is like a big one for me.
Awesome.
And John Entwistle from The Who is also insane. But I remember hearing Rush when I was younger, and like YYZ, just like, how do you play a song like that? And then I recently, it took me like 2 months to learn it, but I finally learned it.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, but yeah, those were two really big influences for me.
Yeah, for me, I would say Buddy Rich, like for my jazz influence. Crazy
Monster, and what a character, right? He's like a black belt in karate and would like kick everybody's butt on the bus and
gotta love Buddy Rich.
tapes.
It's just craziness. But so when did you start like seeing him?
I started listening to Buddy Rich when I started taking drum lessons. I had a great drum teacher. His name is Daniel Kluffman. And he just exposed me to like so many different genres of music and artists. So I would say like there I got exposed. And like in terms of like more contemporary stuff, I would say I listened to like a lot of Mastodon. So Brand Daler, he's a sick drummer. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when was the EP actually recorded?
That's a good question. Was it in October?
It was October. Mid-October?
Yeah, like the second week of October.
Yeah.
Did you guys do it yourself or did you go into a studio?
We had did you reach out to Michael?
Yeah. So we went to Abandoned Studios.
Yeah.
Which is like
awesome.
a staple for the Binghamton music scene.
Mike is awesome.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best. Working with him was amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, a best experience. Low-key want to go back.
That was a really cool. We all had our own little corner. And you had the headphones. I was like, this is awesome. I could turn people down and up. Like if I wanted to, like I needed to hear Chris more. That was just really, really cool. I've never experienced anything like that.
It was like a legit
it was
studio,
cool.
basically. Funny enough, we actually met Michael. Do you guys remember we met Michael before?
Yeah, he was
at Jazz
for the
WSKG show.
WSKG.
Yeah,
that's right.
So he was the audio engineer for that
okay.
show, and then we just somehow met him a couple months later to record the EP, which was really funny.
So the big question is, when are you guys going to do more music?
I mean, we're always working on stuff.
Yeah, actually, we have something that Omar wrote prepared for that we're gonna play later.
All right. Let's talk about Fading Echoes, and then we'll get to the live stuff. So what's Fading Echoes about?
Ooh, I like this question.
This song used to be called DCO.
Yeah, it used to be called DCL. It was named after a friend who we are no longer friends with because a whole other drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. People come and go.
Yeah.
But essentially, the song was written during a very, very long conversation with him. We were just going back and forth, speaking about our experiences and kind of checking in with each other, which was kind of like odd for him. Not to put him on the spot, but he's not very like an open type of person. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, I never knew you felt this way. I also feel this way, you know. Sometimes I feel like things just weigh down. And there are times where I feel like there isn't really an answer and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm lost, if I'm going to be found. But at the end of the day, you keep moving because it's, to quote the song, it's all going down. So, yeah, funny enough, I remember that day so vividly because we stood up from 8 at night up until 6 in the morning and I had an 8 a.m. that day too. And I wrote that song within like the span of those 8 hours.
The great songs come, sometimes they just come all at once, which is awesome. All right, let's check out Fading Echoes right here on the Be Original Show, WBDY 99.5 FM.
Fingers stay.
Hey guys, this is Manny from the Bronx, and this is Omar's new original called Again and Again. Ready?
Delilah cuts right through with her laughter. She stabs the very man that she was after with a knife that she found on his bedroom floor. The most intimate of secrets, the love from before. The blood of the king rushes towards her as she cries out, if this is it all over? The love-stained mess from a broken heart as we drift into worlds apart. It's all the same, it's all the same, again and again. Finds himself begging on his hands and his knees as the wounds tear down the soul that he sees. There was never any room for her mistakes, but the crown that he held to be the one that she'd take. The blood of the king rushes towards her as she cries out, if this is it all over? Blood-stained mess from a broken heart as we drift into worlds apart. It's all the same, it's all the same, again and again. It's all the same, it's all the same, again and again.
That was awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my
That was
First
perfect.
try.
Is that the first time you're playing it kind of like...
Live? Yeah.
Yeah,
To people,
pretty
yeah.
much.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We literally practiced
was-
this like 30 minutes ago.
What?
Or right before we
There's
got
no-
It's
here.
an original?
Yep.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
I'll tell you, you're
I can't wait to
That was
play it.
amazing. Holy cow.
Grab the drums and the bass.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of a bass part. I know, the whole time I was like, okay, where's this?
You
Where's
gotta
this go?
play
Where's
with
this
some
go?
brushes or roots or something.
The
bro.
chords are great. Who's Delilah? Tell us about that song.
So Delilah, It's a biblical allusion to Samson and Delilah. It's a reference to an ex-girlfriend who I will not delve into.
Drama.
Drama.
That's when you write.
Kevin-
That's when you write the best songs.
Yeah, it's true.
Quite literally. So credit to her. I don't think she's gonna listen to this, but if she does, you know who you are. Thank you for helping me
So
write the song.
what's the situation? What happened?
She was just very, very toxic. And a lot of the problems that like we dealt with was a lot of her like throwing stuff at me. So it's kind of like, you know, kind of stabbing you with the knife type of thing. So that's where that metaphor comes in. But we're moving on. We've got good prospects going on. So yeah.
Awesome. So Chris and Ben, you hear this song, like, are you as you're listening to it, are you kind of thinking like, is this the way that usually the songs happen? Like these two guys come in with a song and then you guys kind of...
I definitely fit my part into like what's going on for sure. Yeah.
It's that Ringo thing.
Yeah.
You show up with a song and like, all right, feel it out, and then Chris feels it out, and it always works.
No, for real.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Chris, what's your process for how do you take a song and that you hear, and do you direct it one way or the other, like, or
Yeah. So when I first hear a song that they'll bring, like I'll listen to it a couple times, and then I'll like try to think of any like similar songs that I already know how to play, because a lot of things are not that hard to pick up if you listen to it a couple times. Then after that, I just play it, and it kind of just works like 99% of the time. It just like comes down to like where I want to add in my fills, like my breaks, like yeah.
Yeah, when we practice, you always like record.
Oh
So
yeah.
you can hear it again and again.
Recording is a great way to like.
So what's up? What do you do?
So I'll set up my phone on like a cymbal stand or something, and then I'll record the whole band, because I love to like watch myself play and like see where I can improve. That's a great way to like continuously like build on yourself.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Like after, like we got the videos from the show, I'm always just
Yeah.
like, what are ways that I can improve, or like what's something I hear that I could have done here that would make this song sound better. That's
For
usually
sure.
how it's like a player like reviewing like film for a game kind
That's
of
the
thing.
best, like a
Exactly.
fighter going in and reviewing the film
Exactly.
for a fight. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you guys have one more?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have Lover's Requiem, which we played, but we've
Okay.
never done it acoustically before, so
Yeah.
I think it'll probably sound cool.
It almost definitely. It started off acoustically.
I think a lot of your stuff, that's the Bob Dylan thing.
It's the Bob Dylan thing. Yeah. Funny enough, I wrote.
Definitely a drummer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Ready?
Hey guys, this is Manny from the Bronx, and this is Lover's Requiem acoustically. 3, 4.
You wake up, you lie down, you think of him, but he's not around. He's not here. You see him in your dreams, in straight thoughts and conscious dreams. But he's not near. What would you do to have just one more time? What would you pay to keep it out of your mind? If there was a way, you know that you would find it soon enough. Soon enough. You walk down, you go through the things that you used to do with her. It seems like yesterday love was as clear as day. It's all a blur. What would you do to have just one more time? What would you pay to keep it out of your mind?
job, guys. Sound awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really. So we have a little bit of time left. I want to know what's the future for the band. What are the short-term goals and then long-term goals?
I'd say we're just trying to grow our Instagram right now.
So what is it again?
It's at From the Bronx Band.
All right, you'll have to hit them up, like it, leave a comment, all that good stuff.
Share the music. Come to some shows. Show the love.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Well, you guys have a really bright future. You got great songs, great music, you got a great vibe between you, which is super, super important. So I'm sure you guys are going to be doing some great things. And when you do come out with more music, please come back and we'll play that on air. We'll do some more live stuff. How's that sound?
Most definitely. Thank you for
Thank
having
you so
us.
much.
Yeah, man. Okay.